Great day and good day. I was about to say a good word. I'm not going to say no more. It's a great early day, and it's Asada, and you're tuned in to Gathering of the Griots, another Tuesday morning of Black Author Power. That's right. Thank you very much for being here. We got a wonderful show today, and I love the work that our authors do. We are going to be chilling with a sister named Yanaya E., and she is going to go through spiritual character building with us. What? She's going to be rocking at our Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair. But before we start, I should say, I want you to tune into where we are because we wouldn't be here without the female solution. And if you don't know what the female solution is, you're about to find out. So take a look and we'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the female solution.
And there you have it, okay? Sharing our love, sharing our time, getting the word out. We're solving problems around the world, but we're bringing solutions. That's the main thing. And so, without further ado, I want to bring the sister to the stage because her energy has been so graceful and just so down to earth. I love down to earth people. Let's bring my sister, Yanaya, to the stage. What's up, sis? How are you?
I am awesome. How are you?
Good to have you. Good to have you. Yes, indeed.
Good to be here.
Man, I love that you came to do this interview with us. I love that you're doing the work that
Yeah.
you're doing. And I want people to really just see. Y'all need to see what the deal is. Look at this. Love is Yah, spiritual character building. Okay. And so the power of that, I want you to first kind of just talk about what is Yah? Because everybody who watches, we could be a lot of different things, but specifically, what is Yah? Love is Yah. Talk about that.
Well, love is Yah, and if I do Yah first, in regards to is what many people say, God. Instead, it's just his name. And I know people say, well, he has many names. Well, this is the name that is Hebrew name, the ancient Hebrew name, and we go back. And so, love is Yah is so important to me because throughout my journey, I have really come to understand what love really is. And it was so amazing when that came to me. Do you remember the comic strips? The Love Is comic strips. They used to be in the newspapers, little small clippings.
I'm not really sure that I remember, and I am
Mhm.
from a different state, so not too sure, but go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. It was so amazing to me when that came to me. I used to clip those little, they were just little tiny little clips.
Okay.
And it was always so interesting. It was so impactful. And the characters and the words would be small, right? You just have maybe 2, 3 words of what it would say, what love is. And then it would have the characters on there, and it was just so cute. But when the Love Is Yah came to me, I thought about that. And I'm like, wow, looking at that during that time and having that and saving those, love means so much. But people really don't understand how to the world love is just like letters in the wind, like leaves. We say I love you one day, and the next day you're hating someone. So love is Yah is a spiritual, not religious, but a spiritual book that brings us to that identity of what love really is.
Look at that. So we're going to take it back a little bit because I think part of understanding where we are is understanding where we came from, right? And so
Mhm.
first and foremost, are you a Chicago native?
I am born and raised Cook County Hospital.
We love it. Chicago really conjures up some great people. And I mean, the journeys that
Praises.
people have here. I mean, I just love it. I'm never going anywhere. I love Chicago. And so you mentioned the Hebrew faith. You talked
Mhm.
about religion. It's religion. We're going to go through that a little bit. Religion versus spirituality and some of these other things. But beyond that, were you raised in the Hebrew faith? Is it something new to your life?
No, no, I wasn't. I was
Okay.
born to understand Christianity,
Yep.
Baptist. That's what I knew. And a
Yeah.
lot of people look at Hebrew as a religion or
Okay.
a faith base. Hebrew is nationality. So just like people
Interesting.
say, I'm African American or I'm Caucasian or I'm Mexican, that's what Hebrew is. Hebrew is not a religion, nor is it a faith type thing. And so for many of
Gotcha.
us that study the word, we know that back in that day, that's what it was in regards to the Hebrew.
Okay, good. Let's get the distinction, y'all. Let's get that distinction. Okay,
Yeah,
so your book talks about character building, but I want to just define character first and foremost because, you know, definitions are wonderful and they are
mhm,
many of a lot of things. But basically, I got that character, it's the collection of features and traits that form the individual nature of some person or thing. So when we talk about your book and we talk about you doing spiritual character building, right?
yeah.
That's what we are looking at, developing spiritual character building. Now, how is this different than people just saying, "Oh, I got to work on my personality," or I'm a
Mm.
mean person. I'm a happy person. No, you're talking about spiritual character building. I need you to just make that a little more specific for people so that they understand. Oh, I think I want to get some of that. So yeah, talk about that.
Because when we're talking about character, we're talking about a lifestyle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the things that we're supposed to do, to be kind, to be gentle, to be patient. So when we're talking about that, we're talking about building a character within because oftentimes things that we do, we think of hate. We think of, oh, I don't feel like I should have to do that. And you can't say this and you can't say that. But when we start building a character, we start learning how to respond differently. So for those who believe in the Heavenly Father, his characteristics is what we want to gain. His actions, the way he handled things, is the way we want it to be, the way that the word tells us to be. And so we want to build a character that portrays who he is. And when people see us, you know how sometimes people will see you say, this is something about you, man, your anointing or your spirit, it just feels so good. And so when the Bible says, those who worship me in spirit and in truth, well,
Okay.
that's the character that we want to have. We want to be
Mm,
able to carry that out,
got
and
you.
not and learn how to bring ourselves under subjection to not responding or being evil, but
Mhm.
learning how to love.
I love that. See,
Yeah.
get that character together, y'all.
Yes, that's
Understanding
important.
how to really make it so that you're a reflection of God. That's so
You know,
important because
reflect.
I think lightly we talk about that. We talk about in the image of God or
Yeah,
but to really live as God, ooh, that's a big responsibility. Y'all
and
better
it's
stop playing.
easy.
Say it again.
Actually, it's actually
It
easy.
is easy,
It's easy.
right? Go ahead, talk about it.
Yes. You want to know why it's easy? Because when if we're on this show and you're talking to me and I'm sitting up here, yeah, you're gonna look at me different, right? Like, dang, what's wrong with
Okay.
her? You
Yeah.
understand? But
Right.
when we're talking the
Right.
way that we're talking, then that brings ease to you. It brings comfort to you, right? So if I saw
Mhm.
you, and I,
Mhm.
I would love to use a real life scenario, right? Um,
Okay.
a situation some years ago where a lady came into my office. At that time, I was in the city of Harvey. I was working with the youth. Lady came
Okay.
into my office, and I promise you, sis, to this day, I still don't know why that woman came and cursed me out or used profanity
Okay.
towards me. But she
Yeah.
came
Yeah. Yeah.
in
Yeah.
and she went, da, 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 da. And let me tell you something. She came back a couple of days later to apologize. But you want to know why she
Interesting.
came to apologize? Because she
Why?
said, your facial expression, nothing ever changed. And so
Oh,
for me at that point in time and the way I see things, you may be venting, you're going through something. I don't know why you're behaving the way that you're behaving, but
yeah.
I am not going to allow your character to take me out of character. So what I
Ooh,
need to do is to allow my character to help you change your character, whether you choose to or not. That's a choice. But
yeah.
we have to understand retaliation. That's why he said, vengeance is mine. I shall repay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
our character has to represent him. And one of the things that I often say too, sis, is when we send our children out, we want
Mm,
them, for those of us who have children, we say, you're a representation of me. Well, if he said we're
mm,
created in his likeness and in his image, then our likeness must represent. So just like we
mm.
want our children to represent us when they go
Yeah,
out, say, your behavior, that reflects on me, then that's the same mindset we need to have. So our character is
yeah.
very important.
I love that. See, look at that, because you don't even know what kind of impact you're making on a person by just
Sure.
being authentic, your authentic self, and how it's being received. So I look, that sister went home that day and it was probably on her. Like
Yeah,
you ain't look, you didn't retaliate. She was probably trying to push buttons, you being used to that. But when you didn't have them buttons pushed and you remain calm, Hercules, Hercules, Hercules.
yes, it
So I
is.
want to show this because you talk a little bit about the book, and let me just make sure we can see it all here. You said, "Love is Yah reveals the true depth of divine love and guides readers into understanding how to love the Father and through Him love themselves and others, regardless of relationship or title." This book uncovers the wisdom needed to honor words that are sacred and powerful, preventing them from being treated lightly or spoken without meaning. So, we look at it. That's packed, power packed in that book. So now, are you talking about particular scriptures in the book and relating them
I
to
do.
character building?
I do highlight scripture because that is our life source. That
Okay.
is what helps us get through. So what do most people do? They go to the word, um, and they go to the word to understand, or they go to the word to feel better. But when we allow ourselves to become the word, that means the word is manifesting in us. No matter what situation we're going through, that's what is going to come forward. That is what people are going to see. And we have to be consistent in that. So if you're going to give me a tool, and let's just say you remember the old saying that say, if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for the day, but if you teach him how to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime, right? So here, if I just give you the word without you applying the word. That's why he said, don't
Mm,
just be hearers, but doers. But if I give it and I inform you, if I teach you how to utilize this and not speak death upon yourself, right? Because death
wow.
and life, we have to be
Yeah.
careful, right?
Yeah.
So if we're speaking death over ourselves, oh, I can't make it today, or it's going to be hard today, or
Mm,
whatever it is that is being said that is negative, then you can expect that to be. But when we
yeah.
learn how to speak life, when we learn how to be that encouragement, right? Because
Yeah.
people are really trying to learn how to survive. They're
True.
learning, they want to be better. They say, I know I could be a better person. I want to be a better person. Well, this
Mm-hmm.
book is what we do to help you get through whatever it is. And
Gotcha.
it doesn't take forever to do it. It takes a
Right.
choice.
Mm. Ooh, I just wrote a book called I Had to Choose to Feel Better.
Yeah,
Ooh, that
sure.
choice, baby. I mean, there's so many things out here, and this is why I think people should take the charge of whatever they do and do it, because
Mhm.
people feed on different things, whatever speaks to their personality, their character, right? We have a
Yes.
comment. Let me see what's going on. Uh-oh, Sister Naima, that's the sister that is the CEO of Female Solutions. She
Hey,
said,
it's the
"Preach,
name.
sister." She said, "That's right. Preach, sister. It's more powerful not to cuss out the person who cusses you out. You'll change their heart with a loving response instead."
Yeah,
Absolutely. So
that is
look at
so
that,
true.
setting that example. Look, Naima famous for that, because I always tell her, "You nicer than me, girl. You nicer." She, she sees somebody act a fool. She be like, "Well, I'll be like, girl, that New York will be coming out. Ooh, control, Asada,
Yeah.
control it, So I'm
Right.
glad, that you have that and that you are in a position to really do the work you say you're going to do through this spiritual being. So we got another comment. My girl Zelda says, Shalom, sisters. Character will take you places
Yeah.
money can't. Faith
Yes.
and favor rocks just like the both of you. Ow.
Ah,
Thank you, Zelda. You already got it.
thank
Thank you,
you.
thank you, thank you. That's
Yeah.
right. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to get more into the message of your book. But then you also have events and everything that speak to the work that you do. Like this ain't no new thing. You might have you coming out with a book. Yeah, the book ain't even fully out yet. It'll be out at the end of the month, but already is the message and the buzz from it. So let's take a quick commercial break. But when we come back, we getting into all of that. Okay. So y'all don't
Yeah.
go nowhere. That's right. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Everything we're made of contains light. From the sun that feeds our world to the energy that flows within us. With LifeWave X39, we've found a way to put that light to work. With X39, we achieved something remarkable in the field of wellness and science that others could not. By utilizing LifeWave's unique patented technology, X39 uses light to elevate GHK-Cu, a copper peptide known to support overall health and wellness. Unlike traditional light therapy, X39 uses the body's own infrared light to naturally increase vitality. By gently stimulating the skin with light, our non-invasive, non-transdermal X39 patches help you conquer your active lifestyle and pave a new way to vibrant health.
Mm,
All right. Look at that. Come
I do
on with
that.
it. Hey, see,
I
that's
do that.
right.
That is that. Yeah. Don't downplay that
That's
one.
beautiful. That is beautiful. So yeah, and when
Yeah.
you all when you all play this replay, there's actually some data on that shows where you can get more contact to get those in your life big time. All
Yes.
right, so let us keep moving forward with what your book brings to the table. Now, it wouldn't be legit if you yourself weren't legit, right?
Mm,
Gotta say that, right?
right.
Some people out here professing that they're one thing, and I'll be like, who said that? Where you
Right.
get that from? Not too sure about that, right? But I want to show these things because they might be something you do in just your, your self development. But I thought they
Mhm.
spoke volumes about who you are. So, what is your spiritual gift, right? And then
Yeah.
you got down to hospitality, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it says, what it says, you're incredibly generous. What did you get this from? A sort of a spiritual um activity that then tells you put in some information and it tells you what your character is?
Yeah, someone sent me something. I don't know if I think it was my daughter or someone. They sent me this, and I had clicked on it. They send you something, you click on it, and then it asked me a question or something. I just wanted to see what it was going to say, and that's the things that popped up, and I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. And
Okay.
then just knowing me as a person, I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah, this lines up a lot with who I am.
Okay. And to just really look at it, hospitality. You're incredibly generous, open-minded, warm, and thoughtful. Your doors, ears, and heart are open to every weary soul. You want to help others and express your love by looking out for those whom you love. Sound,
Yes,
right? That's why
that
I can
sounds
see
like
why
me, right? Yeah, like
you know what I'm saying?
yeah, like if I can share this. So
Hmm.
I have a women's group,
Okay.
and it's entitled Mercy Seat. And Mercy Seat, I have a few women. We're coming in, and we talk about what they struggle with. We talk about what it is that they choose to do, but it's breaking down all of those things from childhood. You have childhood trauma. You have all kinds of things that you may have dealt with. And that is what I have been called to do, to
Mm.
help individuals break free from that bondage that we allow ourselves to get into. Well, I'm going to say that we allow ourselves to get into, but the things that we've experienced in our lives, and some things we just choose to hold on to instead
Yeah.
of releasing
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Now that's awesome. And that right there, people just need people like this in their lives that
Yeah.
really are sort of like overseeing their environment and making sure that we're okay,
Yeah.
in that environment. So that, because a lot of people don't have that. And boy, do you feel it when you don't have
Mm.
it. I'm telling you right now. Then this
Yeah.
other piece here, it says, what prayer is written deep in your heart? And it says, Dear God, open my eyes to see the gifts you've given me when times were tough. I can see now that the people you have placed in my life are the blessings you've bestowed upon me. I know now that you will never leave me behind. This I humbly ask of you. Amen. I know that's right. Talk a little bit about, why would you post this? What's the essence of this?
Well, the essence of that is because that I do is that I have a story. So I have a story of being molested, being raped, being beaten, being in a domestic relationship, being homeless, wanting to commit suicide, tried to commit suicide. And my encounter in my life, I remember one day, and I promise you, like I can just still hear that when I was on my way to go to jump off the bridge. I can't swim. I just, at the time, I just like, I just want to die, right? What purpose do I have? What is it that I'm accomplishing in my life? I was a teen mom, just a whole lot of things. And when I said, why me? When I tell you, I heard that voice so loud and clear to say, why not you? I will use you well in the land. And at the time, I didn't grasp hold to that. I didn't understand it at that time, but I heard it. And I didn't go to proceed, as you see, because I'm still here. But as I started to journey, there was a time, a good friend of mine, I was sitting at her table, and she calls me Gino. And she said, Gino, I see you talking to a multitude of women. I looked at her and said, who, me? The heck am I going to be able to say? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've had trauma, I've had this, I've had the other. So all
Mhm.
of that at that point in time brought me to this, to an understanding when I posted that it even hit me even the more where all of that stuff generated, where I
Mhm.
understood that I have a purpose. And that purpose has nothing to do with me. My
Mm.
encounters in my life was to strengthen me because he said he would put no more on me than I could bear. So
Okay.
that I had to encounter wasn't for me. It was for those who I had to come in contact with. So I
Wow.
identified with my purpose, not my purpose just being just something that I'm doing, but my
Yeah.
purpose is a life-driven, changing responsibility.
Wow. Girl, look. Do y'all see how confident she is in saying this? And I say thank you for sharing with us today, because having gone through those things, I was just watching another show last night with one of our hosts, and the topic of the sister's book dealt with her past with molestation, the raping. Like, this is rampant in the Black community. I need us to
Mhm.
confront this bad boy. I actually have a book up my sleeve somewhere confronting that issue, because it happens too much. Like,
Yeah.
I know more of us that have been molested than haven't. And then the coming through of that, I'm so happy you are still here, that you did make the decision, that you listened to the voice,
Mhm.
and that this voice spoke to you. That's just a precious thing. And that's where that God sense comes in. You
Yes.
understand? If you are there
Yes.
to listen, God always is talking. But a lot of times you be listening to TV, you be listening
Mm.
to music. You're
Or
like
the
blocking out the sense to pick up what the creator
yes.
is saying. And so the fact that you did pick it up, and that you are still here, and you took the charge to be here for others, that's big.
Yeah.
because that's the essence of a leader. The essence of a leader, you're concerned about how others are experiencing life and you, and
Yes.
making a choice
Yeah.
to make an impact in people's lives. So I am so happy, baby, that you're still here
Thank
and
you.
that you are persevering. Go ahead, baby.
Yes, and I want to say this because, and this is more impactful than anything. I hear a lot of women say, "My life is ruined," or "I'll never be the same." We
Mhm.
can say those things, but you never want to be the same. You never want to stay where you are. You always want to grow. You want life to be a manifestation to you and not a
Wow.
deconstruction to you. So you can overcome any obstacle and challenge. And when we learn how to forgive, that right there, forgiving and pride are two number one um, death sentences, whether we realize
Wow.
it or not. Forgive, let it go. There's no such thing as I forgive, but I'll never forget. Forget it, right? And the forgetting isn't that it's not in the archive, it becomes a
Mhm.
testimony, right?
Mm.
It doesn't become, I did a thing, a conference that was called The Pity Party is Over. And
Oh,
when I
get
did
into
the
that.
pity party is over, that is, look, you have a life to live. You do not allow everything and everybody that affected your life to stay in your purse. And every time
Mm,
you reach down in your purse, you're pulling one of those things out. What you
mm.
want to do is to be able to eliminate. And that's the reason why I tell the ladies, it's like, I am here to be used as a vessel. I want to do a demolition. I'm getting ready to tear you down. And that tearing down isn't to belittle you. That tearing down is to so that we can be reconstructed. We're going to have a new foundation. We're going to have a new understanding. We have a new mind. You understand? And so that
Woo.
right there is something that is very, very important. You're holding on to things, and as you're sharing your story isn't being impactful to help the next person. Your
Mhm.
story is being pitiful, right?
Mm, mm.
Because we don't want that. What we want, I don't want you to feel sorry for me. I want you to see my overcoming. I want you to see that I was able to overcome those challenges because I am an overcomer. I am an achiever. And so that's what I work with women with. And that is to say, you are valuable, not the way the world says, but the way the word says.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Not the way the look, I gotta come up like the not the way the world says, the way the word says.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yes.
And
Oh,
I
thank
mean,
you.
come on, pity. Look, y'all saw this image. Look at this image. The pity party is over. Okay. I'm gonna say OVA over, right? And so this was great. This was done all the way in 2019. You were the keynote speaker to this energy. Man, this is huge. That
Yeah,
pity party being over and you wanting to get that type of attention. Woe is me. Nope.
right,
I look. The sister said, "I'm here to break you down." She said, "I'm here to demolition." The demolition. That is so strong. The demolition. I am here to demolish this nonsense,
yes,
and I'm here to build you up. Huge, huge, because those are just very strong concepts. You
yeah,
really don't hear people taking that position. They usually take a real safe position, like, I'm not here to tell you how to parent. I'm not here. Yes, I am here to
right
tell you.
here.
I got a book.
The word
I got
says
a
to
book
be
for Beating
bold.
Black Kids.
Yes,
Bold, right?
we're supposed to be bold in
That's
your boldness. I didn't say arrogant. I said
yeah.
bold. You're supposed to
Yes.
be bold. You're supposed to be convicting. You're supposed to be converting. I want to change you from the mindset of you looking down at yourself or worrying about what everybody else has to say or what it is that happened. Your past is your past. And I'll tell anybody,
Yes.
my past is my past. And the only reason why I'm going to share it with you is to be a
Mhm.
testimony to help you. Now, I'm not going to
Mhm.
engage in it because I don't feel
Mhm.
I don't feel sorry for myself. I don't. I
Right.
survived. I
Right.
survived this, and now my survival is to help others to survive as well. So we're going to move
Wow.
on. You know, it's a whole new chapter.
Oh.
Hold
Hercules,
your
Hercules.
yes.
Look, loving that. We gotta let me see what kind of comment we got up in here. Oh yeah, I see that. I see what we gotta go. I saw that, Naima. We're gonna take a quick commercial break again because I love what we're experiencing. We're gonna look a little bit more at some of these other events that you've done, things to come, because we got an event coming up as well. But man, I'm loving the conversation with you, loving your
Thank
confidence,
you.
because when you're in this work, you actually have to be confident, or
You
else
do.
people are not going to listen to you. Like I wouldn't, you know what I mean? You really want to see, you want to be ensured that the person that's helping you build, like I said before, is built themselves.
Yes.
Period. Point blank. So we're going to take a quick commercial break because remember, guys, you're going to be able to meet this sister and get her book at the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair. So without further ado, let's just take a little look at that, and we'll be back after these messages.
Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair.
Hey family, this is Charles Humphrey of MCH Publishing, and I'm here with Ashada, and we at the Soulful Chicago Book what?
This is the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair, slamming.
We getting down in Hyde Park. Just run it down, my sister. Just tell us, for the people, a little bit about what we're doing here today and why.
You know, this is the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair, and this month is very important. I feel like we don't give it the type of recognition that it needs, but beyond that, I do all things literary, and we have so many ancestors that have taken a tradition of writing and done great things. Well, we have those of us that are carrying on that tradition, and nobody knows about them until now. So the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair is allowing us to tell our stories according to ourselves for our own benefit. And it's just beautiful. I mean, you could have been here today if you wasn't here, but if you were, it's been amazing. People came in consistently, children, and we have children's authors, we have nonfiction authors, we have fiction authors. This is really good. And it's about taking our own power in our own hands and doing what we do on the literary tip, though.
Right.
I got to work, but I can't help it. Everything going to school. Not just about bring my African shit like this. Bring in the African shit.
All right, there you have it. The Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair is coming back, y'all. February 15th of 2026. We love and need sponsors too. Come on with it. If you want to donate, we would love that. Let me make it easy for you. Look at this. Take a picture of that. Look, take a picture of that. So, yep, just take a picture. That's a little PayPal donation vibe. And if, in fact, y'all got that? You got a picture of that? If PayPal is not what you want, then I got something for you too that you can use right at the bottom. Look at the ticker. If you want to make a donation in Cash App, Asada Thrive, $ Asada Thrives. There it is down there. And the title of my first book, that's where you can make a donation as well. It's all going to the Soulful Chicago Book Fair. And this is the Zelle email, beatingblackkids@gmail.com. People like, Beating Black Kids? That's just the title of my first book, y'all. It's not a big thing. All right. So anyway, want to bring my girl back, Yanaya, before we, the time goes so fast, but I'm going to bring her back because we got more to go through. Yay! And you're doing such a beautiful job, sis. Thank you so much for the sharing. You actually have more to the book that you have shared with us, and I want to go to that. Let me bring that up real quick. And it's saying here, oh, you better show it. Stop playing. It says, through gentle reflection and spiritual truth, Love is Yah, which is the name of her book, guys, shows how genuine love shapes a character that mirrors the father's essence. Just as a parent tells a child, you represent me wherever you go, we too represent Yah in this world. So you did mention that before, but I wanted to definitely bring this up because, man, just the through gentle reflection aspect of what you're saying. Gentle reflection. Can you expound a little bit on that gentle reflection of looking at the message that you're putting out?
When you think of that, it's like, you know how they say a gentle giant Even though a giant is considered to be large, a giant can destroy or crush, right? But that gentle giant is very careful of how he or she moves. It's not there to destroy on purpose, but that gentleness is what we have to portray, which is one of the spirits of the Most High. So we want to be gentle, we want to be kind, we want to be passionate. Will the whole world end up being like that? No, right? Because the enemy is real. But for those of us who want to speak it, then do it. You know, I believe in, I believe in what I say. I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. And so that's where we have to be. And if this is the person outside of that character that you choose to be, we respect it. But then we have to step aside, right? But that gentleness is very, very important of what we do. You get a better response from
Mm-hmm.
people, right? You know how individuals will say, what is the word when they with it, the energy, right? It was like, oh, I can feel your energy. Well, if that really means something to you, then what is your
Mm-hmm.
energy like, right? What are you producing? What is it?
Mm.
And we can't say somebody made me. Isn't it funny how we'll say stuff like, oh, "Okay, nobody control me," or "I'll never get nobody power," but you say somebody made you mad. You said
Mm.
somebody made you do something. Then that means that person has power over you. That means you
Say it.
relinquished something to somebody, and whatever
Yeah.
happened, that is something that you have to take accountability for, right?
Mm.
So I'm
Mm.
not one to blame. So we ain't gonna go to the beginning. We ain't gonna act like Adam and Eve. We're gonna stop
Right.
the blame game. We're gonna take accountability for our actions, accountability for what we need to be. And we need to stop just using words because it sound good, right?
Yeah.
We like
Come
to
on.
say something, quote something, oh yeah, and because it sounds good, everybody, oh yeah, girl, that sounds good. No, but the truth of the matter is, are you really truly living that? And you can if you choose to.
Man, I
Yes.
want to show y'all her book again. Look at this. Love is Yah, spiritual character building. You could tell from her energy that for real, this is going to make a different type of impact because of the person that's behind it. Let's get that clear.
Okay.
First and
Right.
foremost, no doubt about it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Loving, even when I talk to you in general, you just have a very good a tone that feels strong and confident. You feel very sure to me,
Yeah.
and caring is a thing. People don't know how to feel caring. You understand?
Mhm.
And they got
Right.
to understand. You might have a concept that you're caring, but do people feel cared for because of you?
Right.
No.
Right.
Mm-mm.
That's
I
so
love
important.
that is
So
so
important.
important, right? So
Yes.
important. I'm gonna tell y'all what I love, coming together even for this show, you did not bring me any stress, meaning there were some things we had to work out, this, that, and other, but you never said, ooh, none of that. You just said,
No.
okay, sounds good, sis. I'll be there. Like, I love a person like that. I love it, I love it, I love it.
Thank
So I
you.
just want to look at also, you have this, you said you work with sisters and you have this here, this
Mhm.
it is finished.
Ah,
Now this is this a talk a little bit about this. It says women's spiritual empowerment gathering. Is this
yeah,
something that's coming, went, will continue? Loving this energy. Talk a little bit about this because even the imagery is powerful. Go ahead and
yeah.
talk about this.
So it is finished, is what the Messiah also said before he gave up the ghost. And so
Mm,
what we're supposed to do is die to this flesh. And when we die to this flesh, then we can become spiritual minded to rise above, to be able to execute those things that are going to be an empowerment, right? So whether it's a man or a woman, it's so easy to tear individuals down. But we want to build, but we want to build strong women, and strong men, right? Because we have our sons, we have others, and we can still be impactful to others that we speak to. So it is finished with something that did happen. A couple of my conferences that I was doing. I do want to bring back, and there were things that was happening in my life, right? It was like, oh, this is going on, this is going on, but I just always just believed in pressing through. I'm a press through, and Father, when you say it's okay, it's gonna happen, right? So it is finished was almost similar to the pity party is over. The pity
Okay.
party is over was take accountability, stop allowing things. It is finished. Is to say, hey,
Mm-hmm.
I'm at that next level. I'm going
Nice.
and I'm soaring, like an eagle, right? I'm
Nice.
going to the highest of depths. Why? Because I
Mm,
can, right? I'm not going to allow anybody to tell me what I can't do when the word
nice.
says I can do all things. So we have to ask ourselves, are we going to utilize it to impact us so that we can be that gentle giant? Are we going to
Mm,
allow it to impact us so that we can be a source and a help to our sisters? Because we could say sisterhood, or we could say all of these other things and they sound good. But are
mm-hmm.
you really being a keeper to your sister? Because if so, that means I'm holding you accountable for your actions,
Mm,
right?
mm.
Because some people are
Accountability.
saying, don't judge, right? Oh, you can't judge me, or, well, I don't want to judge nobody. Well, judging is correcting, right? That's the reason why he
Okay.
said, when it came down to it, he said, thy hypocrite,
Mm,
first, get the
mm-hmm.
beam out of your eye so you can see clearly to
Mm.
get the mote out of your brother's eye, right?
Wow.
We're supposed to
Right.
warn. That's what Ezekiel talks about. Warning. I'm warning you. I'm not trying to hurt you. I care about your soul,
Mm,
right? I
mm,
care about your
mm,
feelings, because feelings
mm.
come and go. You know what I'm saying?
Come
You
on.
hate me right
Come on.
now, and then
Mm,
the next second you'll realize, or that light bulb goes off, and you say, "Well, you know what? You was right, sis." Right? So love says, Father said, "Whom I love, I chasten. So whom I love, I correct."
mm. Oh,
And that's the
y'all
way.
being taken to church today, baby.
Yeah, we
Y'all
got to
being
do
taken to
different.
church. And I love it. I love it. Look at what you're saying. Look at the power of what you're saying, and the
Yeah,
simplicity. And the
yeah,
simplicity. Everything
yeah.
you say, and there's a beautiful simplicity involved in it. You have something coming up, and I want to share that because come on now, prayer and poems. That's looking good to me. Talk about
Yeah.
this event. Put this image next
So
to it because you yourself have a lovely energy in your social media presence with your husband. And I just feel like there's going to be love involved in this prayer and poems somehow. So talk a little bit about this.
well, I was invited to um write my poems, and then come on and read my poem on the, like I'm doing here this show with you. I'll be doing that with Sister Michelle Renee and others. And so I was chosen to bring my poem forward. So it's just I started writing poems. Like, let me tell you something. So I've done the play, More Baby Mama Drama. I did it in 2010, 2016. So I do
Mhm.
playwright, right? And I love writing. Like, I really love writing. I love expressing. And um, when this happened, I was like, right? So I find myself writing. Now, it was interesting because I wrote two songs with the lyrics to it that my son is supposed to put music to and everything. I don't know what his delay is, but um, my daughter-in-law, when she read it, she said, "Mama, this is a poem. This is like a poem." And that just really dawned on me, like maybe I might read that. But I'm just really becoming so excited being able to exercise my writing. But that is
I love
to
it.
be able to share my side of poetry.
Look at that. So I'm gonna go
Yeah.
back to that so we can get that date because the date, what is that? December 20th was
December
that?
14th.
It's
December
14th.
14th. Yeah.
Okay, so it's
December
coming up. I
14th.
want to just show that again, guys, because this event, let me move this title real quick. Um, Prayer and Poems. And let me say, make it bigger if you guys need. It says 12 days, 12 Israelite female poets and prayer warriors. Wow, that is strong. Man,
Yes.
and I think what's good too is that I think the brothers in the Israelite faith are usually very vocal, and sometimes I don't hear the women enough. But coming through you, and I already know with Michelle. Michelle Renee is the rocker. She rocking with me building the Black History Book Fair. So
Yeah.
just the knowledge of
Yeah.
you ladies and your speaking, that's just huge, and I love this. So December 20th, you guys put this on your calendar big
December
time.
14th.
Oh, December 14th. Why do I keep saying the 20th? Maybe we
Because
supposed
something's
to do
probably
something
going
December
on.
20th. I don't know what it does. But December 14th. I keep saying
Yeah.
that. I gotta look at that date. Maybe that's what I'm coming to
Yeah,
some
I gotta make sure I'm
evolution.
saying it right. I know it is the 14th.
That's
It's
fine.
right
It's
down there in
totally
that like
fine.
little goal. Because I know it's 14, 15,
Exactly.
but I think it's 14.
Got you. So, guys,
Yes.
we're going to take one last commercial break. When I play this commercial again, I would just want you to make sure you pay attention to the information at the bottom of the screen, because this is a new time and the healing is coming in a
Mm,
lot of different forms. So, just take a
yeah.
look. We'll be right back to finish on out with you, Yanaya. And don't go nowhere, y'all.
Everything we're made of contains light. From the sun that feeds our world to the energy that flows within us. With LifeWave X39, we've found a way to put that light to work. With X39, we achieved something remarkable in the field of wellness and science that others could not. By utilizing LifeWave's unique patented technology, X39 uses light to elevate GHK-Cu, a copper peptide known to support overall health and wellness. Unlike traditional light therapy, X39 uses the body's own infrared light to naturally increase vitality. By gently stimulating the skin with light, our non-invasive, non-transdermal X39 patches help you conquer your active lifestyle and pave a new way to vibrant health.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Healing, baby, newness,
Yeah.
infrared light. And so, yes, indeed. Thank you, Naima, for bringing that message, for bringing the opportunity. So, man, we have so much that you're bringing to the table. Love is Yah. If you all have not seen it, this is what it's going to look like, baby. Love is Yah, spiritual character building. I think it's going to be such a blessing to meet you also, and really feel the energy between not only getting the book and using it, but man, just your
Yeah.
energy.
Mhm.
Oh, it's so big and it's so huge. I want to just kind of, you have a few messages and the book, and I wanted to make sure I get them all. Let's take a look at this real quick. I had a few of them down. Now it says this self-examining journey challenges the reader to grow, to release anything that distorts Yah's nature, and to embrace the love that transforms. It is a
Mm,
call to reflect Him fully, walk in His purity, and
yeah.
live out the love that was always meant to define us. Mm,
Yes.
mm.
Yeah.
Get it, baby, because you was making sounds me during, like you was making sounds like you didn't write that. Go ahead, girl. Tell me a little bit. Expound on this
Because
energy.
it is
Expound.
because it's something that will never go away. Like, um, mm, okay, I'll catch myself. When 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 you're learning what love really is and how to execute that, when you're learning how to receive it, I know throughout my journey, I know how he kept me. And when I really truly just decided to release and allow him to shower my life, it was such a deep transformation for me. And it feels awesome. And I want others to be able to feel that love, not that executed love that the world talks about, right? Love with attitude. How can you love somebody and you have an attitude? You don't speak to somebody. You don't handle anybody. You don't allow yourself to say, I love you, but yet and still hurt you, yet and still betray you, you know? And so I want to be used by the Father to allow people to understand and receive what real love is. Love is so much deeper than um, I bought you a dress, or I take you to dinner, or I'm saying the right things for now. Love is something that is continuous. Everything that you think, everything that you do, when you're talking about love, it is so compassionate. It's beyond anything. And so I have had that opportunity to experience that. And I tell the Father always, thank you for allowing me this opportunity to expedite and execute and allow others to know what love really is.
Mm, mm, mm.
Yeah.
Look, Hercules, 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 girl. You are bringing it very strong, and you are really felt the sincerity, no question. You know, you're really bringing it, and whatever work you're doing with Michelle, oh man, I really feel this. We about to experience another level of power, major. You have other events that you kind of put me aware of that you've done in the past. I want to just share those. This right here, the have you hurt forum. What is that
Yes.
about?
Have you been hurt by the church?
Yeah, oh
Yeah.
wow, oh
Yeah.
wow.
Have you been
Talk
hurt
about
by the
that.
church? Yes. Because a lot of people are damaged. Well, I don't even want to use that word. A lot of people are confused. A lot of people are so deeply wounded by what the church, well, what the people, first of all, let's get this understanding. The church is not a building. The church we're the church, right? So what people have done, you know how they say hurt people. And so we have become immune to hurting people. And so
Mm,
what it is to understand, and this is the reason why I stress so deeply that it is not about religion. It is
okay,
spiritual. It
gotcha.
is it is a character and a positive emotion that we portray one to another, right?
Mm,
And so
mm-hmm,
when we did Have You Been Hurt by the Church, that was to get people to release and then for us to edify and build. That you don't allow nobody, the headship, the other people, you don't allow them to define you. And so
mm.
that what that was all about.
That part right there.
Yeah.
Look at this important work. And look, y'all, this is not new. The book is coming out at the end of this month, but this is 2019. So you've been rocking that. The getting rid of the pity party. No, not doing that. You also had here, this says overcoming the obstacles. We
Mm.
are more than conquerors. Ooh, what was this about? And when you say Daughters of Zion, is that an organization you're still a part of? Is it something you had? Talk a little bit about that because maybe some of the viewers want to be a part of that.
Well, when you talk about Daughters of Zion, which is, in the word, talk about Zion, but no, it wasn't an organization. Everything that you would see in regards to what was led by me to do, it had nothing to do like really with organizations or anything of that nature. It's just spirit led, and I just choose to do it. Right? I choose to take the responsibility. I choose to take the mantle. I've taken on the mindset of Deborah in the Bible, and that is to be that prophetess, that judge, to be that one that is coming to help individuals overcome the obstacles and challenges that they're facing. What do you need to do? And whether we realize it or not, all you need to do is have a willing, a desire, a hunger, and a thirst to do what
Wow.
is needed to be done. You have that, you can overcome anything. If I've overcome, because you're looking at me now, but I was a very shy individual. I was like a people pleaser. I found myself
Okay.
like leaving me out, because I really
Mm,
wanted to always pour into others, and so I
yeah.
was just kind of like shy, laid back, and And boy, when the Father got done with me,
Mm. Mm.
told me, like,
Powerhouse.
you are my creation. You have a greater
Wow.
work. So, but
Wow.
I had to experience all of that to be able to execute what I need to execute. Because as I tell individuals, your pain and my pain, whether we realize it or not, pain is pain, right?
Uh-huh.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter if your pain is here, as the world would say, and my pain is down here. Pain is pain, whatever it
Yeah.
is that we're going through. And so our thing is not to focus on the pain, is to
Mm-hmm.
focus on getting well. When you go to the
Nice.
hospital, you're not going to the hospital so you can continue to hurt. You're
Mm.
going to the hospital and you're trusting them so you can feel better, so you can
Mm-hmm.
do better, so you can rise up and continue to function. And that's what
Yeah.
we need to do.
See? God, oh gosh. We almost out of time, but I got a few more concepts I want to bring up. I need to bring this up because I felt like this was really evident in your social media presence. The love, the love, the love, the love, the love, the love, the love. Can you just talk a little bit about your husband's role in your life, marriage? I know Michelle's energy, so I know the necessity of dealing with love relationships. Can you just leave us some words of wisdom? We got like 2 minutes left about the role of a loving relationship in all that you're mentioning.
I want to say this, and I'm going to put this out. My next book is entitled mm, "Love." Doing his will in marriage, doing his will in marriage.
Okay.
Um, and that right there is going to be the dominant of what marriage really truly supposed to look like, and an
Okay.
over capture, right?
Okay.
Spiritually, marriage is sacred, and we have
Mm-hmm.
to understand what marriage is. And we really
Mm-hmm.
do have to understand what marriage really is.
Please do, because it's somewhat distorted
It
for all
really is.
that we've experienced. It's distorted. We got a comment by my girl Bella Gill says, choosing what your spirit guides show you to. Let me just read this as it is because I'm messing it up. Choosing what your spirit, it says, guides you to is so powerful as you are expressing. I see myself in your conversation. You look and feel spirit led. I
Thank
totally,
you.
fully agree with that. And man, I just want to say today, our time is up. What are we doing? I can't believe it. Thank you today tremendously for
Thank
coming and
you.
being a part of our energy today. You
Thank
really
you.
have shown us a light. You guys, again, let me just show her book one more again. Lookity, look. Don't get it twisted. Love is Yah is the book,
Yeah.
Spiritual Character Building. Be ready to experience it at the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair, February 15th, because my girl Yanaya will be there. Yanaya E, let it be known. And look, Zelda says here as we close, she says, enjoyed all the spiritual content.
Yeah,
Yay.
thank you.
No
And if I
doubt.
can, real quick, the
Come on.
cover that you see, remember the title, because Sister Michelle is having it in our branding. So some
Mm-hmm.
things may change, but the title will not. And it will say Yanaya E. So I'm going into that. So I do want people to remember that. So just remember the title and
Yeah.
Yanaya E.
You see me
Thank
covering
you
up.
all.
Look,
Thank you.
Yanaya E, nonfiction author, Love is Yah is right there. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for being here.
thank
And I love you
you.
guys.
Thank you.
Talk to you
Love you
soon and
guys.
see you next Tuesday. Peace. Let
Yes.
me get a look. I want a
Peace.
close up of us saying peace. All
Peace.
right. Peace, guys.
Thank you so much.
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, zhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, ngiabonga. Senegal, jaref. Kenya, asante. Israel, toda. Pakistan, shukriya. Afghanistan, tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.